Hey all, Plastic Commander here, and I don't mean to brag, but this YouTube thing been working out pretty well for me, you know? I'm kind of rolling in the dough, you know? If I do say so myself, I'm doing pretty well financially for once. So to celebrate, I thought I'd go ahead and splurge a little bit on some of the fighter toy armament out there. Today's video is going to be about count them, two sets of figures by the company Toy Soldiers of San Diego. Toy Soldiers of San Diego is owned by another company called Mick Sean's Closet. They're a store that sells through eBay, and they have their own website. They're owned by a couple named David and Kim Cook, and that's where I get most of my Toy Soldiers of San Diego figures, is through them, because I'm pretty sure they sell them at the cheapest because they own them. So if you're ever wanting to get some, look on eBay, find Mick Sean's Closet, and pick them up. And this set of two is a great place to start. And hey, finally, since I'm rolling in all that dough, I can finally afford the good stuff. That's right, no more of that stuff I was drinking. I have a problem. So on the table, it may not look like it, but these are two different sets by the company Toy Soldiers of San Diego. So a little bit about Toy Soldiers of San Diego. They were owned for many years by a married couple, and then in the early 2000s, they were sold to another company called Mick Sean's Closet. So I've shelved them before, but Mick Sean's Closet is a great source to get your toy soldiers. That's where I get most of mine from. Their prices usually are the best. You can find them on eBay, and they have an online store. And they're owned by a couple by the name of Kim and David. And this is one thing I read on their website that I just thought was so cute, I had to share it. So the name Mick Sean's Closet, Mick Sean is a mixture of their sons' names, and closet is because they said the things that they sell are reminiscent of what you would find in a child's closet. You know, like toy soldiers and stuff. Which just was so adorable to me, because toy army men are one of those things. When you get older, they just kind of get shoved away into the closet, then eventually the garage, then eventually your mom puts them in the trash, and eventually you watch them go away forever. Bye-bye, bye-bye, army men. And then you become a 20-year-old with a depressive dissociative disorder, and you go ahead and you buy some after your girlfriend dumps you for the third time, and you buy a whole bunch of them, and then you have a Rubbermaid, then you have 3 Rubbermaids, then you start doing a YouTube channel because your fiance died, and everything was just falling apart, and you just needed something to cling on to, and now you have a YouTube channel and 1,100 people watch you, and you talk about little plastic toy army men, because that's the only coping mechanism you have anymore, Clay. So let's go ahead and talk about these sets individually. So up first, we are going to talk about the fire support team. These guys are really cool. So basically, if you buy these sets, you got to buy these two together. This one and the one we're going to review next, because they basically are made for each other. So this set is really interesting. In fact, I'd say it's more interesting out of the two of them, even though I like the other set better. But the reason this one's more interesting is, one, the uniforms are reminiscent of the Battle of the Bulge. So during the Second World War, Hitler and the Axis threw all of their available resources, all of their extra resources, into an offensive in Belgium during the winter of 1944. And it caught the Allies off guard, but they were able to pull back and knock the Nazis back over the Rhine and eventually go into Germany. So it was during the winter, so these guys have long coats. These are the well-equipped American soldiers who were in that battle.
Yo, they smell like my armpit. At least your armpit's warm.
You want syrup with that?
Yo, be honest, what's in these things anyway, huh?
Nothing you won't eat, malarkey.
So again, we got another rifleman, and the detailing is just amazing, down to every single button and belt buckle. So of course, we got the canteen, rifle belt, and even on the M1 Garand, just absolutely beautiful. We see the gears, the sights, we can see the little loading mechanism. And one of the few complaints that I do, in fact, the only complaint, let's be honest, with Toy Soldiers of San Diego is that they tend to bend. like a lot. And some examples are worse than others, as we'll see, but there is a way to fix this. And if you take a toy soldier that's bit like this, and you pour some hot water on top of the bit area, mold it back into place, and then pour cold water immediately on the area, usually it fixes the mold. And I have a few that have done that too. I haven't had a chance to do it to all of these, but yes, but not all of them are like that. Like this guy, pretty good. This is like a typical small curve that you would find in any Army set. But yeah, the rifle belt and the canteen again, the backpack, all amazing detail. In the face as well, you get a lot of different faces with these figures. And one of the really interesting parts about this set in particular is the fact that it has a lot of moving parts. Like we see in the back, we got a mortar guy. So, really cool. He's holding a mortar shell in his hand. He has a hand over his ear, because we didn't really do anything for ear protection back then. It was just kind of deal with it and the hearing loss. Hey, the VA benefits are great, aren't they? So, and again, tons of detail down to the boots. And then right here in the front, we have a little machine gunner, and his machine gun comes off like that. He comes with a little box of ammo, bullets that you put through, and this is a Maxim machine gun. So these were found all over during the earlier parts of the war, or modern day Russia. And these were the older machine guns that were used in the First World War. So America wasn't very modernized when they entered the Second World War. The Browning wasn't, you know, as far spread or far used. So a lot of soldiers and units were still using Maxim guns, which got the job done pretty well. And he's sitting on a soapbox here. You know, the best way to get your opinions across whenever you're on a soapbox is to have a machine gun in your hand. Tips from the Plastic Commander. And probably my favorite figure from the set is another long coat figure, but just for the sheer detail, the rough looking face, the bandage around his head, the lack of a helmet, and he's just ready to march up and give those Krauts the one-do skiddly-do. Bazooka Man, you always have to have a Bazooka Man. And no matter how much money you spend on Army Men, they will always have the little circle on their back to let you know that they are plastic toy Army Men. And one of the more extreme examples of that curvature I was talking about, anyone with a Browning in these sets usually has it. And again, hot water, bin, cold water, like I was talking about. And at the bottom, they don't say anything special, just the copyright year, then the website, which I don't know if that website is still good. I don't know if it's the actual TSSD website, because if you go to that website, it just redirects you to Mick Sean's Closet, because they're, I guess, the owners. And another question I have, do Mick Sean's produce these figures? Like, did they make them? Did they own the rights to making them? I'm not sure, because a lot of other people also sell them. So I really don't know. If I get a chance to meet the couple who owns it, I guess I'll just have to ask them. So, the fire support set, absolute must-have if you get the infantry set. Buy it. So, the second and final set we'll be looking at is the Toy Soldiers of San Diego U.S. Army Infantry Set. And I'm fairly certain, as the title suggests, that the set I bought, or where I got them from, which was Mick Sean's. This is supposed to be Patton's Armored Infantry, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, which they look like they're Armored Infantry, so I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say yes. But another great set of figures, and like I said earlier, you have to buy them together. They just go together so well, and if you buy these, go ahead and buy the Marines too. I didn't get a chance to review them here for time, but really, you have to buy all three. You have to have them all. So again, beautiful detailing. We can see tons with the rifle, bayonet, canteen, of course, you have to have those. And perhaps my favorite figure in the set is this guy with a Thompson submachine gun, loaded up with grenades, absolutely looking like a Rambo. And he's just running into battle, ready to spray down the crowds. And if you look at the back, you'll notice that his rifle belt is specifically a rifle belt for a Thompson submachine gun. And with all of these, depending on their weapon, dictates their rifle belt. So, can't really see it on this guy, barely right up under the arm, but he has a rifle belt knit for an M1 Garand. This is a better example. This guy who's aiming downward, he has 2 M1 Garand rifle belts. So, really, really cool and a really nice detail. We can even see the little buckles on his Alice pack. So, another really cool thing is you get a guy who's aiming downwards, which you don't really see that a whole lot in Toy Army Men sets. I think the only other time I've seen it was the BMC Battle of the Alamo set. And, in the, I think both the Mexicans and the Texans had guys aiming downwards and aiming upwards. And speaking of upwards, we got a guy for that too. They really did think of everything. So, again, great detail. This guy's a BAR. There is a little bit of bending here, but like I said earlier, hot water, bend, cold water. And his rifle belt is just slightly different than the M1 Garand one because he has a BAR. And you can even see the eject for the BAR as well, where the bullets would fly out right up above the magazine. So, of course, my second favorite figure is this absolute Chad of a gentleman here. So, he's running forward. He has his rifle aimed out. You can see the wood grain a little bit. And what I just now noticed, he has a bandage wrap on his hand. That is freaking amazing. And look at the detailing on the face. This is one of the most detailed faces on any toy soldier I've ever seen. And he has a cigarette in his mouth. He has a beard. Just absolutely looking cool. We can see his dog tags. His jacket's thrown open. And he is just ready to tear it up on the battlefield. Really, really cool. Another interesting unit that we have is a medic. We don't get a whole lot of medics in the Army Men world, but it's nice to have this guy. And probably more unique is we have a medic who looks like he's engaging in combat, which is really cool. Most of the times they're usually trying to help someone, but not this guy. He's not going to save any lives today. He's going to take them. And quite frankly, I can't blame him. Have you seen the world today? And finally, of course, kneeling while shooting. And he's loaded down as well. He has a little satchel here. His Alice pack. Looks like he's on the march. He has his bedding here. Bayonet, canteen, of course. And he has a wrap at the ankles and the legs. So, in World War I, soldiers weren't really given boots. They were given these leg wraps that you would tie around your ankles. At the start of the Second World War, the U.S. Army issued them as well before they were able to produce enough leather boots to give out to all the regular infantry. So, like, every unit has their own kinds of boots, like paratroopers have jump boots. So, whenever you watch Saving Private Ryan, you'll see them storming the beaches and they're wearing these leg wraps. This guy seems to have some. So, really cool detail. He has a grenade here. So, and also, one last thing to note is he has webbing on his helmet. And this webbing's for, like, putting leaves and branches and stuff for camouflage. So, really, really awesome. So, 2 great sets. Absolutely have to get them together. And I completely forgot to slip this guy in. I just quit recording, slid everything over. All right, let's go edit. And there's this guy just staring up at me like, is it my turn yet? So, running, rifle, really, really cool. Wow. Now there's some plastic toy Army Men that I spent way too much money on. So anyway, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, make sure to tune in next time when we talk about this set of Toy Soldiers of San Diego figures that I wasn't able to review, that I wanted to do in this video, but just ran out of time for, probably because I talked too much. I've been told that before. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I have a date with destiny.
Mission accomplished. Well done, man. Pack it up. We're going home.